Game one of the Will Wade era at NC State is officially in the books, and I don't see how you really could have thought that that was going to go any better. I mean, you pull out a 50-point win or nearly a 50-point win over a team that's had success in recent years, and every piece that you acquired over the offseason did what you expected them to do. So today I've pulled all the film, I've broken down a few parts that I want to highlight. And the first area that I'm going to start with is Darrion Williams, the star of the game, and I want to talk about his impact on this offense. So Darrion ended this game with 19 points on 10 shots, highly efficient. Watch these clips and watch how he moves without the basketball, makes smart plays, and takes what the defense gives him. I mean, he crashes the boards. He gets little dirty points that, guys who are normally your best player don't normally do that. Like they're more focused with creating their own offense. And yeah, he took what was there. He took a lot of shots early because guys slacked off of him. But overall, this is the type of feel that leads to a guy who's extremely consistent throughout the year. Next, we're going to talk about him as a passer, and I'm going to keep it on this play with Vin Allen Lubin because it's my favorite play of the night. Like that is such a slick pass, and the ability to read that and diagnose that as quickly as he did was really impressive. The other thing that I like to see out of this game in particular is that North Carolina Central went to zone quite a bit, especially in the first half. And NC State responded by parking Darrion Williams in the center of the court. And if you can get him the ball in those soft spots in the middle, he was clinical with diagnosing what was open. Sometimes it was kicking it back. Other times it was going cross court or to the corner. He found other bigs off of drives. It's just a weapon, and NC State could be a team that gets zoned quite a bit this year, and you can't do that if Darrion plays that way. Now, if there was one concern that I had going into the year for NC State, it was going to be that they weren't going to be able to put a lot of lineups that featured a really good amount of shooting. Like they had guys that shot respectable percentages over their careers so far, but I was concerned that they would have enough knockdown proficient shooting to really make teams play differently. And now this game, they came out and knocked down 19 threes. So I want to talk a little bit about just how important that is. And if NC State can even come close to replicating it, sets them up for enormous success. So while it's going to be easy to be skeptical of the volume that NC State knocked down, you can't be skeptical of the shot quality that they generated. Now, sure, some guys knocked down a couple tough shots, but by and large, when you look at these clips, you see it. These are quality looks, almost all of them. You're swinging the ball around to a guy who's sometimes wide open, and they're knocking those shots down. And the amount of guys that NC State can be confident will knock down wide open to pretty open shots is high. Like you feel good about Matt Abel, you feel good about Paul McNeil, Jerry Ding, Darrion Williams, Trey Holloman. Like that's a lot of volume, and NC State's going to capitalize on that if you ask me. Now, video breakdown aside, there was so much about this game that just gave me a ton of optimism for the rest of this season and Will Wade's tenure at NC State in general. So one, on offense, we've touched on it when we talked about Darrion Williams on offense and what he did. It felt like the ball never stuck. And I get it. We were playing North Carolina Central. It's a team NC State should beat, and they could play offense any way they want and probably dog walk that team with the talent disparity that exists. But when you watched NC State, they were aggressive getting the ball up and down the court. Whatever guard got the ball in their hands, they generally pushed it, and they had their head up looking ahead. We were pitching the ball to the corner, to the wing, doing different things on different possessions. So I think first and foremost, that is important for NC State to do that as they continue moving forward. Next, as the ball swung around the perimeter, you were seeing guys make quick decisions and for the most part across that game, they were the accurate ones. They were looking to skip balls ahead. They were looking to just swing the ball, continue with the one more pass methodology, get it around the perimeter to whoever had the open shot. They were taking angles on drives when they had the chance. We talked about it with Darrion Williams, but when they see help defenders coming, they're immediately looking to send the ball to where that help came from and cause the defense just to continue to rotate. And when you've watched NC State basketball over the past 4 or 5 years, or really longer than that, that's been something that I think fans have asked for, that people that watch a lot of basketball has wondered where that's been. And I think you're just going to see more of that as the season goes on. I think you're going to see less ill-advised shots. I think that the amount of detail and attention that this staff pays to analytics is going to continue for guys to hunt the type of shots that the coaching staff wants and that are ultimately highly efficient. When we talk about the defensive side of the ball, I think NC State gave up some offensive rebounds, and I think that's going to be a theme throughout the year. Like, this could be the one part of the team that causes them to lose a game they shouldn't, maybe somewhere down the road. But I think it's a trade-off you're willing to take. Like, when Van Lubin is going to be dynamic. He's going to get opportunities to do things on offense that are going to impact the game. And defensively, I think he holds up fine, as a rim protector and even as a rebounder. But I think you're putting yourself in a position where your goal is we're going to overwhelm teams offensively, or we're going to cause them to just get outscored. Like, if they score, a few points a game off offensive rebounds and second chance points, that's something you live with when the trade-off is the amount of dynamic activity that you're going to get on the offensive end. Now, things are going to get real pretty fast. They got UAB on Friday. There's a lot of early season tests. So I'm going to be curious to see how this holds up. But let me know what your thoughts were on this. Drop a comment below. Do you think this is something, a performance that's going to be indicative of what we see from NC State throughout the course of the year? Or do you think, this is a classic case of a team that you're supposed to beat and you play well against, and that's something that doesn't hold up over the course of a full season when competition starts? But I appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to be doing a ton more kind of game reaction type videos like this as we get through the course of the year. So make sure you're subscribed so that you get the notifications when those come out. But I will see you guys on the next one.